We're going
2
live right now.
months.
2 months?
Yeah.
Kick ass. You look great. You look like you lost weight.
Yeah, I've just been doing self-care more than ever after Hal Elrod. That was so inspiring.
Oh,
So
awesome.
yeah, so meditating, exercising. We're building a trail around our house because we're in the hills. So just love it. Getting a sauna.
Right. Okay, Dr. Farah, we are live now, and we've got a really, really incredible, thank you, Mary, incredible story, and we've just been catching up. And one of the reasons, obviously, I brought you on, Dr. Sultan, is because of everything that you've gone through to get to where you're at right now. This is about conscious living. This is about challenges, making it through them. And I've known you for quite a while. I've watched you go through this, but especially, over the time of the lockdown and all of that, you've really actually grown, you've thrived, but not just in your business, but in your personal life, your spiritual life, your health life. We were just commenting before we get started, but I've got a lot to talk about and a lot to share. And every time, I have a guest on, I don't want them just walking away with a story or walking away with some good information. I always like them to have an opportunity to take something with them. I know that we were just talking about Hal Elrod and how we had him at one of our events, and what he left everyone with not only was an impactful story, but a blueprint, his book. And I know that you said that's made a huge impact, and you have a blueprint now. You have a book. So before we get in that, would you just tell the audience just a little bit about yourself, what type of practitioner, a little bit about your journey, then we'll talk a little bit about your book, from Survive to Thrive. I love the title, and we'll get into that a little bit. So just if you could open up a little bit about who you are and a little bit about your journey.
Sure. Thank you, first of all, so much for having me here. So I'm a traditionally trained MD. My board certification was in family medicine. I've trained in internal medicine in England, trained in India, where I grew up, and really went into medicine wanting to change people's lives, make a difference, but very soon found out that it wasn't working for me in my own personal health. I had my baby. I actually did my residency in Texas, in Houston. And soon after I had an emergency C-section, I had issues with Hashimoto's and IBS, and wanted to lose weight, was experiencing fatigue, hair loss, and the usual symptoms. But even as a trained MD in the conventional system, I was really stuck in finding answers. And I went to my own doctors and colleagues, and all they had to say was, oh, this is normal. But I knew there had to be a better way. And I just kind of stumbled upon functional medicine through a nurse practitioner friend who referred me to an A4M conference. And it was so eye-opening that there was just no turning back. I mean, this is why I had gone into medicine, to help people live healthier lives. And it did make a huge impact on my own personal health. And that's why I totally changed the way I practice medicine and made a complete switch to functional medicine. And that's exactly when I found FBC as well. And through your mentorship, Charlie, I'm able to do what I'm doing today, and in the true sense, achieve true freedom in my personal and professional life.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And we've got both, doctors, professionals, and lay people on here. So I'm going to go back and just kind of clear some things up, because you mentioned some things that not everyone's familiar with, but they should, because they're common. You mentioned Hashimoto's, and I want the audience to understand this is an autoimmune condition, attack on the specific gland, the thyroid, and it's more common than women than what we realize. And unfortunately, as you said, traditional medicine doesn't doesn't have an answer, doesn't have an approach to this. It's not, they just weren't trained. And I can say this to you because you're traditional trained, and we know this didn't happen. So you had to step out and meet with some of your colleagues who also were very, very, they're intelligent, they're bright, they work hard, they have good intention. It's just unfortunate that the system, the way that things are taught, it just focuses, and I say this all the time, and I don't want to beat it up, disease manage it rather than health. And you also mentioned IBS. So this is an irritable bowel condition, again, that we see in both men and women, but again, more common with bowel problems in women, right? That really can result in a lot of challenges later on with weight, with skin conditions, with irritability, hormone imbalance, neurotransmitter imbalance, poor absorption of nutrients. So I just wanted to catch up with that so people understand, because they can relate to someone like you that's also gone through it and found a different path. And then you moved in to training. So those of you that aren't familiar with the term functional medicine, it's basically lifestyle medicine, right? I don't even like the word medicine, but you're taking an approach as a physician to take a deep dive in the diagnosing. You're using proper tests, but you're looking at where is the etiology, where did things start, where did they go wrong, and we're going to start there and empower the person so they get their life back. Obviously, you have, as I mentioned earlier, you always glow, you look healthy, and that represents that you're following what you ask other people to do. So let's talk a little bit about how you've pivoted into this challenge and how that affected people. That I'm sure you got a lot of new people, a lot of new patients, because a lot of doctors shut down. How did it impact your practice? Did it hurt your practice? Did it help your practice? Did it lead to better things?
Oh, certainly. So the good thing is actually COVID turned out to be such a huge opportunity for our practice. So earlier, we really were doing everything in person because in addition to having a functional medicine practice, we do things that can only be done in person, like IV therapies and a med spa. So that part had to be by the local governance be shut during the COVID, but we totally pivoted to doing things virtually and making a huge impact on so many more lives. So now I'm doing telehealth where I can reach people outside my state. And I, again, took the help of professionals so we could do this legally. And I have been able to make a difference and impact more people. I love doing the webinars. So really, in essence, it never affected us in terms of our business. I did not let go any of my staff, did not close. We were still able to do social distancing because we were considered essential and remain open, but then pivot to doing virtually. I was just in office, but virtual. And the book that I'm writing is coming out, which is from survive to thrive, but really even my practice is now thriving. That book brings out my personal story, but now I didn't have any fear. I was able to take that challenge as an opportunity and loved it. And in fact, we're actually doing even better. We've really been able to scale my practice to another level and reach so many more people. And personally, like you mentioned earlier, I've been able to dedicate this time to self-care and family time and the true freedom.
Awesome. So you mentioned your book, From Survive to Thrive. Is that the full
Yes.
title, From Survive to Survive or Thrive? So if we dug into that book, and I want to make certain that we let people know how they can they get this book now?
It's going to come out in a couple of months. So
And
right
it'll be
now,
available on Amazon or?
yes, Amazon, Kindle. It's going to be available on.
Write it down, guys. From Survive to Thrive by Dr. Farah Sultan, Sultan. So write that down. But so I know I've got a note here too, Guide to Living Without Fear. Is this part of that book? Is it Is it moving through life in spite of fear?
Yes, and finding the answers and really taking on challenges, which really strengthens you from the inside out.
I don't have the author in front of me. It's Ryan Holiday, I believe. The chat. I can't even think of it.
The obstacle is
Obstacle is way, and then there's another one on challenge. But the obstacle is way, I think, is what I'm thinking of. Ryan Holiday, right?
yes.
Okay, yeah. It's just an unbelievable book, and you just mentioned it. That, and I've always talked about it at our events and quarterlies. Embrace your challenges. The growth that you've seen over, well, the time I've known you, but just over this time of you put this book together, you're on a TV tour, virtual TV tour, you've built an incredible practice, vitology wellness center. It's just incredible that without facing challenges, none of this happens. There would be no book without the challenge of seeing the necessity. There would be no virtual practice without the challenge of lockdown. And I see it all the time. And again, that's why I started Wake Up with Webb, because at any given time, no matter what's going on in our environment, I always see certain individuals see things different. They see the opportunities. No one wants a lockdown. No one wants a virus. No one wants forest fires. But we're going to have challenges in our life. Every one of us, no one is immune to this. And we have an opportunity to make a choice. The consequences, we don't get control over. Our choices we do. And if we look at these as, look, it's going to happen. Some people are going to get beat up by this. Some people are going to lose their practice. Like, for example, in the lockdown, some people are going to lose their health because they live in fear and they don't want to get out of the house and exercise, things like this, where other people actually came out of this saying, there's bad things, but they come out of it saying, my life's better. I spend more time with my kids, my family. I took better care of my health. I've changed my practice to where it's better for me. It's better for my patients, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what I see in you. And something you mentioned, you changed your priorities to gain your freedom. What do you mean by that?
So in my previous life, I was just work all day long from morning till night. I would put my little kids to bed and then I would stay up, just burning the light both ends. And I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning. So I had my priorities all wrong. I was not happy. I was not healthy. And so you have got to prioritize what in life is the most important. Life's too short for you to not realize what truly matters at the end of the day. And those are your loved ones, your health, and yes, your business, your practice members. And that's what I found to be a total awakening, which has really helped me to pivot to realize that like you've said before, the time is never right. You've just got to make the time. You've just got to make your priorities right. And it was so easy and eye-opening that I could do that. And so now I'm able to take care of my health, exercise, eat healthy, sleep well, take care of my kids and spend quality time with them, my husband, and my home. And then at work too, with virtual health, you're really not wasting any time and you're able to reach more people. I used to do live dinner talks where I would have to leave early from the office. My staff would have to leave, and we did it in person. And I loved it then, making the connection. But even now, through the online platforms, through the webinars that I do, I still feel the connection.
Yeah.
I feel I'm able to reach so many more people. And
yeah,
so
I'm with you on that.
And so really, in a way, it's been a blessing. And I just love it. And I don't think I'm going to go back to doing live talks because Right now, I'm doing automated webinars, which are like live, where I can still participate and chat on my cell phone, but still have dinner with my family.
Nice, nice. So yeah, we all learn that. In fact, in my business, we're virtual now. Almost all of our clients have gone virtual, and it has been an absolute blessing. I've learned to connect online on Zoom and Skype and things like this, and I've learned to come through the screen and feel like you're here. So in time, I mean, of course, I miss some of those things. I miss our live quarterlies, but there's people out there that when you say this, whether again the layperson, the doctor, whatever, when you say you can do all these things now, that sounds great. But Farah, you don't understand. I'm busy. I've got my schedule full. And guys, I want you to hear what she's going to say, because she's got a organized system for this. And so please share this if you haven't already shared, because I always want you to walk away with things you can do. So how in the world can you get more done in a week than most people get done in a month? You still have all of life living today, but you're running an incredible successful practice. Can you help the listeners? Some of the things that you do, whether it's in the morning, your habits, your schedule, how can they get control of their life like you have?
Certainly. So I think the biggest thing is the mindset. So if we have crowded brains where we don't have time, we're busy, and believe me, I've been there, done that. So then you're not going to be able to make time. There will always be things that happen and come in the way, and we live in that reactive, sympathetic drive. So you've got to take a step back. The thing is, I truly believe in what you say, Dr. Webb, which is if it's not on the calendar, it's not going to get done. And then also, when you make habits, then they become ingrained in you. And then when you see the benefits, then you're more likely to do it. And that's exactly what I tell my clients, that when you know the reasons, the root causes, when you see the results, then it's not someone telling you to do it. You do it because you see the results. And that's what happened with me when I meditated. My focus was better. My day was going to be better. When I exercised, I felt better. And how did I make time when I'm a busy mom and a busy practitioner? It was okay, discipline. I'm going to get up at a certain time, go to bed at a certain time. It's easy to stay up late. I used to be a night owl, and now I've totally become a morning person. And so I love my morning ritual where I do my affirmations, my meditation, my gratitude, and my workout. So I know I'm set for a great day. And then now, because my schedule is something, again, that I block, it's not that reactive, or the email, I have to get it, the text, I have to get it, the message in the portal, I have to get it. There's a time for that. It's okay. Breathe. There's so much power in that. And it's all within us. It's really within the heart, brain, all that we teach our clients. It's all, we have to do self-care. And so when you do that, it's just how those pathways unfold, and you will be able to make the time. The time won't just come unless you make it. And so you have to make it a priority. And that's what I did. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen easily. But the more disciplined I got, the more I made it into a good habit, the more benefits I reaped. And now when I don't do it, then I miss it. And I know something's not right. So that helps and propels me to keep doing it that way.
Yeah. So what Farrah's talking about, and I was looking at my phone here. I'm not answering anything. I'm looking to pull my calendar up because I want to show people a little bit about what you're talking about. And I'm trying to pull up my weekly calendar here so I can see a week, but you know, I'm not the, let's see here. Do you know how to pull the week up on here, Nick?
I certainly don't.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, let me just kind of show you. you're probably not going to be able to see this very well on here, but I can scroll. You can see there's everything's on my calendar from early in the morning when I start, et cetera. And what's on there, there's different color codes. There's green for personal. There's orange for office stuff. And anyway, everything's coded. But what Farah's talking about, if you don't structure and organize to create your day, then the environment will create it for you. And these are habits that once you get into, like you were talking about your morning routine, I always let people know, like when you said it's not going to get done if it's not on the calendar, I go further than that and say, if it's important, it's on your calendar. If it's not on your calendar, it's not important. And when we start off in the morning with a routine, if it's on the calendar, because sometimes people will say, well, do you need to put on the calendar? You know, you're going to do that every morning. I do know I'm going to do it every morning, but nothing else can go in that spot. No one can block that spot. I can't block that spot. I can't change. I'm going to stay with that. And that means you get wins in the morning. You start your day off. Okay, I did my breathing. I did my meditation. I did my journaling. I did my 15-minute stretch workout. I did my cold bath, whatever it is that you do, right? That's a win. And you start the day with that mindset. But, I had a story once, one of our clients, and him and his wife were having some challenges because he wasn't separating time for her and the family. Mm-hmm. Very, very busy guy, super cool guy, loving guy, loved his wife. And they're just a beautiful couple, but like any couple that you can have challenges, and they wanted to sit down with me and discuss things. And I found out that he was getting up very early in the morning, like 5:30 and getting his workout done. And so, but there wasn't date night. There wasn't him at the table. He didn't have time set aside. And so when I talked to him and I said, let's talk about your schedule. And I asked him, I said, do you work out? Because he obviously did. He looked great. And he goes, oh yeah. I said, when do you work out? And he says, like, 5:30 in the morning. I said, do you ever miss? He says, oh God, no. And I said, is it on your calendar? And he said, yeah. And he pulled up his phone because he wanted to show me, look, it's on there. And I said, can you show me your wife on your calendar? And he couldn't. And he broke down, and his wife broke down. And I wasn't doing it being mean. I was trying to open up. Your workout should be there, but so should your wife. So should your kids. And so when you're talking about organizing your calendar, you're letting people know it's the personal, it's the spiritual, it's the work, it's everything on there. And because you do that and have the discipline, do you feel like it's giving you more freedom or less to have structure?
Oh, definitely more freedom. So now I work 4 days a week when I was working almost 7 days a week when I would be on call at the hospital. And all my weekends are free to do what I like to do. My Fridays are my day to work on myself, my business, and not see any patients. So that's, again, sacred time that nobody can encroach upon. I can do things like this that I enjoy doing, my podcast. So yeah, it has truly actually given me more freedom by blocking my schedule, putting things on the calendar.
Yeah. So how long have we been working together?
More than 6 years, since 2000.
More than 6 years. And in the old days, we were programmed different, right? Did you have the freedom back then?
No, I mean, I was slave to my schedule and my work and my busyness.
Okay. Hey, I got a question here. Is there an app that you use, like on your phone, for scheduling? Is there something that you use, or you just use regular?
I use Google Calendar. I love Google Calendar.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I know we had Stanley Miller ask the question, and it's not complicated, guys. If I pull up my calendar for the week when I'm on my computer, I can pull the whole thing up for you. I'm sure I can do it here too. I'm just not a tech guy, but everything's there. And one of the things that I do, my morning routine starts at about 6:30, and then at 8:30, I actually review my day and any blank spots or appointments that are supposed to be there, and then they got changed because I do like consults with new prospective clients. And if one of them wasn't filled, then I fill it with what I need to get done. And so by the end of the day, you're productive, you got things done, you can sleep, and you don't have to worry about tomorrow because it's on your calendar. Something that a lot of people like to hear about from doctors that are practicing like you, that are actually taking on the role of a consultant to your patient, to your practice member, is they like to hear, and so do the doctors listen. It's all about changing lives, and you've changed a lot of lives. And I always like to just, it's empowering for me and the audience to hear about people's lives change. Is there anyone that you can think of off the bat, maybe recently or in time, that just really touched your heart, that seeing what happened from the start and then the finish?
Yes, so I remember this lady, she was a nurse administrator in a hospital, and almost for the last 10 years or more, she had such horrible diarrhea. She remembers just her commute to home was about 45 minutes to an hour. She knew every bathroom stop on the way. And after she saw me, her life completely changed. She's like, I can actually drive home without stopping. I actually have normal gut function. And then we balanced her hormones. And then, of course, her husband is the one who came to thank us. And then he joined the program because he couldn't keep up with her.
Yeah, nice. Because we see that a lot. We see that a lot. And I've got a history way back when I started having the IBS stuff. It was several years ago, and I didn't, it hit me pretty hard. But I have empathy for these people because you don't know what you eat, and then bam, you just get a disruption, and it's a miserable place to be. So I know things like that. But I think what people need to understand, both again, the layperson or the doctor that's not practicing this way, the miraculous ability for the body to repair and heal. And we as doctors need to get out of ever telling someone, well, that's just the way it is. Well, you're just getting older. That to me is the physician saying, here's my way out because I don't know the answer. It's better to say, I don't know the answer, Farah, but I'm certain there's some doctors that can help you. I'll do my research. That's a better answer than, well, that's just the way it is. And that's just not the way, that's not what people are looking for. A little bit more, I want to make certain if people want to get in touch with you, is that okay? Because I know are you working virtually in a certain area or across the United States or?
Across the United States now.
So if I'm in Texas and I want to maybe look into what you're doing, maybe go to your webinar, find out if you can help me or my spouse, how would I get in touch with you?
So my website is vitalogywellness.com, and we can do direct messaging through that. Our Facebook page is Vitalogy Wellness Center, and you can always reach me at farah.sultan@vitalogywellness.com, and we'll be glad to help you. Or with
So the easiest, Vitalogy, and that's spelled Vitology, Vitalogy.
Vitalogy.
Okay, Vitalogy, Vitalogy, wellnesscenter.com.
Yes.
That's the best. And your book coming out, From Survive to Thrive. And guys, this is Dr. Farah, Farah Sultan, Sultan. Is there anything that you would say to the physician out there that is where you were 6 years ago, that's struggling, but has anxiety of not knowing how can I do this? Because I know that, is most of your practice cash as well?
It's all cash.
It's all cash, because this is a stumbling block. And you know this, for a lot of physicians, they think that there's what they can provide people, how they can empower and facilitate wellness. A lot of them they lack the confidence that that's worth something to someone, that they would be willing to invest. If I'm that physician trying to get out of this mess, the insurance mess and the fee for service and all the garbage that comes along with it, but I'm afraid to move, what would you tell them?
So first of all, when you invest in yourself, that's the biggest investment you can make. And when you do that, you really are going to benefit your practice. Second of all, like, you can't let that fear hold you back, because that itself is going to totally limit you from the life that you were meant to lead, but also the lives you were meant to impact. And so I was in a similar situation. I was afraid and I didn't want to let go of the insurance part. And then I just thought, what am I doing? This is just not working. And people think of insurance as the cop-out card. If I want to make a true difference, this is the route I have to go. And so you've got to trust in yourself, have faith, and don't live in fear. Take that opportunity because you will see the bounties that come with it.
Yeah. Now that means getting with people that know more than you. And obviously we're coaches, but there's other coaches too. I want people to do their homework. You know, this is not just about FPC. This is about conscious living. This is about doctors like you and other people. I've had entrepreneurs on here that have strived. And so I want to push people to say, have you looked in to entrepreneurial coaching? Have you looked into coaching in your industry? Whatever it is, I've had tons and tons of coaches. And I think what you're saying, investing in yourself, is get the information that's missing. If you were not trained in business, seek it. If you're not trained in certain things and you want to master it, then do that. So if it's important to you to be able to get control of your business, so your business should be working around your life, not the other way around. But invest in yourself is what you're saying. Understand that you're going to be the highest return on investment that you can make.
Yes, invest in coaches. I have always found that it's always turned out to be much, much more ROI than I ever imagined. And definitely it changed my life.
Okay. So it's a Friday, and I'm assuming you're not working in the practice on Fridays. Okay. And that's a good thing. So you have a nice weekend planned with your family. Weather's getting cool. So with that, again, let me again remind people, Vitalogy, VITALOGY Wellness Center, vitalogywellnesscenter.com if you want to get in touch with Farah, if you can chat with her or get on, if you're a prospective patient and you want to find out if she can help, or if you're a doctor and you want to talk to her. And her book coming out, From Survive to Thrive, a guide to living without fear, I think would be apropos. So Dr. Farah, thank you so much for coming on and sharing. You impact a lot of people, and I appreciate that. Respect you for stepping out, encouraged to do things different. And I'm sure that we'll invite you back on in the near future. So again, God bless and thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you so much. Have a
Guys,
wonderful
remember to share this, please.